Yo, what's good YouTube? This is Angiri, and today I got a new video for you guys. Alright, we're gonna be talking about debugging with WordPress. Alright, gonna leave in the link in the description for the references. Alright, so let's get to it. Alright, so we got the WordPress config.php. It's gonna be located in examp, htdocs, and then the WordPress config, which is gonna be in the WordPress folder. So examp htdocs, and then WordPress, and inside the WordPress folder, WordPress config. Alright, so to enable debugging, just make sure to enable the WordPress debug function to true, and that is basically gonna display the errors and the warnings in your WordPress development environment. So let's check out an example over here while we add in some more debugging, like the WordPress debug display function, for example, over here. You can do it as in the same syntax that they did in the WordPress. And the reason we do this in the WordPress config.php instead of like adding this to the functions.php, because this is a development environment, so we don't want to ship any of these functions to production. So this will be just on your computer, just for a development environment. Alright, so let's talk about also other like functions over here, like WordPress debug script, which is going to be basically just for handling the CSS and JavaScript errors in your WordPress theme development. Alright, so just make sure to make this to true as well. And I'm going to show you examples at the end of how this affects your development environment. One last thing before we continue on, so before I show you examples of this, is the SAVEQUERIES, which basically just shows you an array and analyzes the queries from the database. If you want this, you can just also make this to true. Make sure to also restart your server, and then let's go into localhost and then the WordPress. So here's an example of the error that WordPress debug showed us. So this was from WooCommerce. Right, I'm going to show you another example right now, which was in my cart section. So I think it was in the checkout. I apologize. So yeah, it's going to display at the end of the page. Alright, so we can also turn this off if we want this, of course, from the WordPress config.php, like I showed you guys. Just turn the true into false for WordPress debug, and that again is into your WordPress-config.php file. That's going to be located in your WordPress folder. Right, so just make sure to turn this off if you want to add this boolean value to false. Alright, so let me show you also another example of the WordPress debug JavaScript. Basically, we just turned off the WordPress debug. So let me show you how this affects the development environment. So here it just showed me an error, I think because of the like I thought it was a React plugin, but I used Chrome and it did not have any plugins at that time or extensions. So I refreshed the page, and as you can see, when I turned this off, it seems that there was an error in my JavaScript returning to something with React. So I can check this out again, like I said, from WordPress debug script. It's going to show you where the error is at as well. One last thing before we end the video, I'm going to show you WordPress debug log. Basically, this is something that you could save to a log file that's going to be found into your WordPress content, and then a debug.log. WordPress content is basically like the WordPress content upload files. It's going to be over there. So you're just going to find a debug.log file if you turn this to true. So let me show you an example over here. And this is basically the error we had before of the WooCommerce, and it's just saved into this file right now. Alright, so that is pretty much it, you guys, for today. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. This was Angry with you, and peace, you guys.